Hi, welcome back to SGGT. I'm Scott, I've got James and Aaron, and the big one, we've got Taylormade Qi35. We're fortunate enough that we're all going to get a shot of it just now. We're going to hit some shots, you'll see us in action, see some bad swings, some equally bad results, but what we'll do is we'll have a hit, we'll tell you what we like, what we don't like, and we'll make it make sense for you.
We've got Aaron hitting the Qi35 Max head, 9 degrees. Let's see what happens.
Right, let's do it.
Initially, how's it look?
Big.
Big, okay.
Big, nice and forgiving,
Good.
but
Never done us any harm.
lots of mass there.
Pretty solid.
Right. You straight away compare it to last year's Max,
Yep.
it feels better,
Okay.
just on the hit.
Okay. Visually in relation to last year, is it similar? Is it?
Because they've gone like matte crown, I feel like it's got a slightly bigger, flatter footprint.
Okay.
Usually a faster one.
I think that's the fastest club ball speed with his head.
It's because it's on the bypass.
Well, it's not on the bypass. What's the spin? 32. Just goes straight, doesn't it?
Yeah, you literally cannot miss. Noticeably slower in terms of speed.
Yeah.
Top head speed and stuff. Let real estate take a bit of shifting. Pretty good though.
Spin's not crazy high, is it? 32. Good strike.
And
Is this max head you've got?
yep.
Doing what you'd expect a Max head to go and do.
It's pretty much the same as what I expect them all to do. I can already hear me getting caned off my pals when this video comes out for this.
Good one there.
That was decent.
Yeah, good one for the road.
I'd imagine spin will pop, but
We'll loft. I'll put the core model, we'll offshore.
just keep it the same.
Up, up and away.
Up and away.
Again, fairway.
Strange flight for a 9-wood.
Yeah, thanks so much, Scott.
How does it look?
I think it looks really quite nice. It doesn't look really closed like Qi10 Max did. I think the matte finish is really quite nice to see after having like just black drivers for a while. Bit more separation.
Good swing.
How does that look for you?
Yeah, it looks better.
How does this compare to the Qi10 core for you?
Qi10 core looked smaller.
Yeah.
I think because I've used mini driver for so long now, drivers look bigger again.
Especially when you go into something like this, because it's so flat to the ground.
So aye, it looks big and then bigger again.
Yeah.
That was a good swing.
Golf shot there.
Sounded lovely.
Thanks, James.
No problem at all, Scott. Yeah, as soon as that spin number comes down for you, it just wants to jump forwards, doesn't it? I need to play more golf, boys.
At least that's high enough, it should go over the bypass. That was better.
Here we
That was
go.
Good. There it is.
148.
Bit smoother there, James. Oh,
Hi, James. There he is.
that was solid.
That felt really good.
Have a bit of that.
Sounds really nice as well, doesn't it?
It feels more like a titanium driver,
Okay.
Aye.
whereas you could tell that it was quite carbony in years gone by. 286 carry, there you go.
That'll do.
Oh, Jesus, peeps. Safe to say that was at the toe. Wow, 146 ball speed out of that.
Considering where you struck it,
Wow. That's nothing short of a minor miracle.
for an LS head as well.
Yeah, for that to get to there, that should have been snap hook city.
Yeah.
That was solid. Like, really solid.
Ball speed's up. Quick.
Of course it is. Have a bet of that, Jimbo.
I've got my work out to try and beat this one.
There he is.
A straight one.
Look at it go.
There he is.
Oh, tell you what.
The power of the boy.
All we needed was the right head. Didn't get the spin, so you've been overly punished there, but
Trackman binned it.
when you talk about flight on a golf course, that's miles better for you. Anything that's going to have too much loft or point a little bit left for either of you, to be honest.
There was more element of surprise for Trackman that lost it. Nice.
Yeah, the boy.
He's back.
Yeah, boy.
Feels so much better.
It looks better as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it is that more traditional shape.
Here we go. Finally got one.
Definitely better with the LS head, James.
It's definitely that head for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe try for fairways in the next video.
Where's the fun in that?
Fairways are overrated, boys.
Solid. Down the left half, but decent hit.
Yeah, much more solid
Yeah.
feeling.
Spin definitely down as well.
Yeah. That looked like it just kept going.
Yeah.
It was a hair of a pull, but again, if I'm on a golf course, I'm aiming down the right-hand side anyway.
Ah, you're alright with that. More like it. The higher out the face.
Yeah.
That's playable, isn't
Still
it?
a bit of spin that though.
That ain't spinning.
That's just going to keep going. For a low spin head, it's actually still quite a high smash factor, being that high in the face.
We've all just had a shot of it, a hit, and aye, the results are great. Aaron, first thoughts?
I like the adjustability with the weights in the core model and the LS. You've got loads of options there. I think the big takeaway you could probably say is the crown. When you look down on it, is very, very different to Qi10. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it looks amazing when you look at it behind the ball. It's got that matte finish. The other big takeaway is that the core model is a wee bit bigger than last year, isn't it?
Yep, a little bit bigger. I think what's quite interesting with the core, having that weight we can have at the back of the head or the front of the head, just be able to kind of maybe dial that spin rate in a little bit more. I think that'll be really good for fitting this year.
A little bit more maneuverability on that, getting it close to the LS and closer to the Max if you wanted it to.
Aye, definitely.
So there's the fourth head. Again, we'll probably not do millions of it, but there is the light head, the fast head. Who's that aimed at? Who's going to use that?
That's going to be for that golfer who maybe doesn't have quite as much club head speed. We need to try and keep that swing weight number down. So you get plenty of golfers in who maybe just want to try and hit the ball as far as possible, but don't have an awful lot of power. So if we can keep swing weight down, we can keep that driver nice and fast. Just gives us a bit more scope for fitting different golfers.
And we've all had a hit now. Was there one that stood out for you? What did you like? What did you not like?
LS.
Yeah?
I need less spin.
You need less spin.
I need less left in my life at the same time.
I think like any of us can say that.
If ever was a panel of bad driver testers, we'd probably
Categorically, yeah. I like the LS head. It looks a little bit flatter. It's a very clean looking head. I say this all the time with product. All three of the heads, they all look really, really nice. So going from a kind of shiny black crown last year with Qi10, going to this kind of grey carbon crown with Qi35. All three of them looked really, really good down behind the ball, but the LS was the one that I really enjoyed hitting.
Yeah.
And what kind of golfer, Aaron, would you say that LS head's for? Who's going to benefit from it?
Someone who really struggles to keep that ball down. Someone who needs to get the ball out the air quickly. It's a low spin head, and it's aptly named. It is a proper low spin head, especially when you get that weight right to the front. And what I like, you go to the front and you've got a little fade bias, you've got a little draw bias, just depending on their tendency. So it's a really good option at that high spin, high speed.
Yep. Interesting. And the core head? We've seen a lot of Qi10 core on tour last year. Can you see that continuing?
I think there might be a little hurdle to get over with the size of it. I said that last year's core model was the least looking Taylormade driver in that driver lineup. We've kind of got back, well, welcome back Taylormade. But I think that might be a small hurdle to get over in terms of the size of it and the actual footprint behind the ball.
I really like the core head. I think I'd have to do a bit playing about with it, removing weights and whatnot. But as I said when we were hitting it there, I quite like the idea of forgiveness and help.
Yeah.
The bit that doesn't work for me is I generate quite a lot of spin due to bad technique. So it's, if I played about with it, I'd love to kind of dial in and see, could we actually get the forgiveness but get the spin rate to come down?
Yeah.
I think it's a big stepping stone from the mini driver to that, so it looked even bigger than it probably does. But yeah, I really enjoyed the core head. I thought it was really good.
If we can get that sleeve down for you, get the weight at the front, it'd be interesting to see what you could really do with a bit more time.
Yeah, I think you'd have to play about with shafts and really try and dial it in, but I really believe that you could get that core head working for a lot of golfers. Loads and loads of help, but I love the look of it. It looks like a proper golf club. James?
Definitely. I think it's a little bit longer from front to back as well. So the head looks quite big. I think that sort of inspires quite a lot of forgiveness. I would say the normal core head and the max head, looking down at them, I wouldn't really say there's an awful lot of separation there. No. But certainly from the kind of fitting point, being able to move that weight further forward, it just unlocks another bit of performance that we didn't have last year with Qi10 core. Going into that max head, wee bit more upright, but not noticeably so.
Yeah, we said that, didn't we? It's not, I don't know if it's the matte finish or just the gloss, but it looks like it sits less toe up.
Yeah, looks really quite square when it's down behind the ball, doesn't it?
But you've still got that draw bias in there. I quite like how they put the actual equation on the head. It's a bit of fun.
I think when you looked at that max head, you were really straight with it. Dimes and I were a disaster. That's probably less to do with the driver, but it was amazing how accurate you were with it. I think unfortunately we had we only had a 10.5 degree head that we'd lofted down just for that initial bit of testing, but I think once the 9's in, it'll be interesting to see if you can take the 9 and take it down again.
Yeah, see what you can do with the spin height.
How much less could you get that spin, and would you then get more from it?
Yeah. Be interesting to see if we kind of played about with like hot melt and things as well, because we do the building part.
Yeah.
If we need a little bit less spin from that type of head, it might be quite interesting to see if we moved some weight further forward internally. We could play about with lead tape and things. If we move some weight forward, could we have that proper cheat code, super easy to use, but we try and nudge that spin down the way a little bit?
I think one of my biggest takeaways as well is, obviously you've still got the carbon face in there, but it feels and sounds more like a titanium driver, more like a traditional driver.
Yeah.
Whereas Stealth and QI, you could tell it was a carbon face when you're hitting it. And you can kind of still tell, but it's a lot closer. It's a lot closer. And I don't know if that's on purpose or if that's just a byproduct of where they've got to with the design.
We need to ask the question now, and you're going to be the man to answer that, James. What's the tech? If there's one man that's going to know the answer to that, you're the man for the job.
Carbon. We have, again, the infinity crown from last year. We can see on the top here how the crown kind of wraps around the top part of the face. I think that sort of ties into that like really clean look as well, that maybe didn't really have with Stealth 2, with that kind of bonded crown on the sort of top line. Qi10 really fixed that, and this looks like they've kind of kept that infinity crown as well. And again, I've said this already, it just looks really clean.
And CG placement, I think that's the big story from Taylormade, that they've changed. So CG location is a lot deeper in that head. So what we're now finding is that one that traditionally off the bottom of the head with Taylormade drivers that have popped up in the air and the loss on yardage due to spin would have been mad. What we're seeing, the one off the bottom still goes forward now. So that straight location doesn't necessarily need to be so high out the face to get such a good result.
Yeah.
So you're a guy that traditionally maybe we've found struggles to get that strike high enough up the face, and we've maybe actually got a wee cheat code here that it could work really well for that golfer.
Yeah, I think we noticed there was only maybe 10-12% increase on the low strikes, whereas even Qi10 you would still notice maybe 20 to 30% just jump and spin, and you're just going to eat into your distance there.
Definitely. There's certainly kind of customers that I've had relatively recently that if we could have had like a slightly deeper CG but with a wee bit less spin at the same time, that could be the cheat code. So it's definitely one of these ones I've got a fair few customers in mind, I think this product would be really good for.
Yeah, me too.
And from initial testing, is it going to be a contender next year?
Definitely, I think it has to be. It's I touted it as the one to beat next year, and I don't think that's changed after hitting the three of them. The interchangeability you've got, and being able to get the core model in a low spin version and the core model in a kind of closer to max version. There's more spread. There's more golfers you can fit that into.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. There's a head for everybody here. And again, there's maybe that little bit of cast off that if LS doesn't offer enough help with the weights that are now moving in the core head, it's almost you can get closer to making that like an LS, but with a little bit more forgiveness.
Yeah.
I think Taylormade were saying that we're almost at 9,000 MOI on the core head, which 10K was the massive story last year. We've now actually got the core head knocking on the door of that. So if you can get that to launch and spin properly, coupled with the forgiveness that offers, that can only be a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would agree. I think it's got to be a contender. It has to be a contender. It's going to be a good jumping off point for everyone, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Like Taylormade, we all know this. Taylormade always make a really fast product. So when we test this against other sort of 2025 offerings, I'd expect the ball speed with this guy to be really quite fast at the same time.
Yeah, good.
It'll be interesting to see when the other product starts to filter through how they start sort of stacking up head to head.
Right. Other than James pilling a dog walker and a couple of balls on the bypass.
There was some ropey ones in there, but there was some brilliant ones in there.
There's some glimmers of hope, wasn't there?
Right, we'll put it in a lack of ability. To be fair, are probably relevant for your average golfer. Right, guys, thank you very much for trying the products. It was great. Definitely a contender for next year. Love the look of it. Love the feel of it. Love the performance of it. The odd one that we caught. But all in all, brilliant. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you want to book a fitting, head over to the website at sggt.co.uk and head over to our YouTube channel for more great content, reviews, and discussion about golf clubs. Thanks again.